start counting on the time when we finally get together again. We'll be laughing through the tears like you can only do with those that you hold dear. And I'll be there for you, my friend, when we finally get together again. And we'll have stories about these long days and all the glory that was stripped away, always relying on silver linings in the end. So I go counting on the time when we finally get together again. We'll be laughing through the tears like you can only do with those that you hold dear. And I'll be there for you, my friend, when we finally get together again. And I will hold you when the new winds blow. Please forgive me if I can't let go. We'll be laughing through the tears like you can only do with those that you hold dear. And I'll be there for you, my friend, when we finally get together again. Oh, when we finally get together again.
Every time I drop, 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 every time I drop, 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 every time I drop, 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 every time I drop, 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 every time I drop, 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 every time I drop, 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 drop. Every time I drop, 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 every time I drop.
Joining us as tonight's MC is Jennifer Mayerly of WCCO TV, our downtown station. Jennifer is an award-winning journalist and anchor of WCCO's Saturday Morning. She loves to tell stories that positively impact the community. Please welcome Minnesota native Jennifer Mayerly.
Thank you so much. I can hear you clapping all the way from your homes, and I so appreciate the warm welcome. What a wonderful performance by the Twin Cities dance community to kick things off. They are incredibly talented. You know, again, my name is Jennifer Mayerly, and I work with WCCO TV. And growing up in the Twin Cities, I always dreamed of working for WCCO, the downtown station. And I am proud to have been a member of the WCCO team and living and working in downtown Minneapolis for the last 6.5 years. I'm so happy to be guiding you through the next hour or so. Welcome to an evening in your downtown, supporting the mission of the Minneapolis Downtown Council, presented by Wells Fargo. I know typically we'd be gathered together for a packed, energetic evening at MDC's annual gala, but we will just adjust and enjoy the time together virtually tonight. As we gather, the Minneapolis Downtown Council continues to work on downtown's behalf. We're experiencing a layering of challenges in our community. And important work is underway to support the reanimation of downtown over the coming months. The Minneapolis Downtown Council and its leadership understand what is at stake, and they are tackling critical issues daily to help us create an extraordinary downtown for all now and into the future. Tonight, you'll hear MDC leadership share some of what is being done as we move forward together. We'll also welcome Twin Cities business editor-in-chief Allison Kaplan, who caught up via Zoom with downtown leaders and MDC board members who are helping support our shared work. Before we get started, thank you to Wells Fargo for presenting your sponsorship this evening. We appreciate your continued commitment to downtown. And thank you to the Minneapolis Downtown Council Skyline partners, CenterPoint Energy and Clearway Energy. We appreciate and thank you for all you do in our community. Thank you to our platinum sponsors tonight. And thank you to our gold sponsors. The Minneapolis Downtown Council is grateful for your continued support. Now, to get the evening started, I am pleased to introduce Minneapolis Downtown Council Board Chair Laura Day. Laura is the Executive Vice President and Chief Business Officer for the Minnesota Twins. She's been with the team for 25 years and is a proud resident and worker in downtown. Laura, take it away.
Thank you, Jennifer, and welcome to an evening downtown. Thank you all for joining us tonight. This has been an unprecedented year for our community. The combination of the pandemic and social unrest has impacted employees, companies, and entire industries. We know it's been challenging, and we stand with you as we work hard and continue our commitment to keeping our downtown thriving as we move forward together. Our downtown is poised to pull through this together because we as a community are strong, and we as an organization are dedicated to helping lead through the reanimation of downtown. The Minneapolis Downtown Council is built on three key foundations that make us vital to downtown's continued growth and vibrancy. First, we are conveners. We bring people together around the table to tackle the challenges within our community. We're action-oriented. Our organization not only is at the table discussing how we can keep downtown extraordinary, but we put plans in place and execute them in ways that help support what our community needs. We act. And we lead. Our organization is providing leadership for downtown as we navigate these unprecedented times, helping to bring us through to a future that is even more dynamic than before. Tonight, you will hear from leaders throughout our community who will help illustrate the work being done by the Minneapolis Downtown Council. You will also hear from Steve Cramer, our president and CEO, who will help frame up the current state of downtown, as well as the Minneapolis Downtown Council's activities and leadership in navigating our downtown forward. We know there is much shared work ahead, but we are confident and full of resolve that together we will emerge even stronger. But we need your support. You play an important role in helping our downtown thrive. We ask you to think about how you and your organization can invest in the Minneapolis Downtown Council, whether it be through membership, sponsorship, time, thought leadership, or talent. We need you at the table investing to ensure that our downtown continues to be strong, vibrant, and serve as the economic engine of our region. Thank you and enjoy the evening.
Thank you, Laura, for that wonderful welcome and for your board chair leadership. We look forward to learning more about the Minneapolis Downtown Council's work tonight. And to do that, I am pleased to welcome live to the stage President and CEO Steve Cramer. Steve joined the Downtown Council in 2013, and he continues to provide steady leadership navigating important work in our downtown community. His background in the public, private, and nonprofit sectors continue to help him build and foster partnerships throughout downtown. He continues to be active in local committee leadership, including District D Commissioner of the Metropolitan Airport Commission, co-chair of the Heading Home Hennepin Executive Committee, Youth Link's board chair, executive committee member of the Center for Transportation Studies, and a board member for numerous organizations. Steve, it is really great to see you.
Jennifer, thank you for guiding us through this virtual gala tonight.
Happy to be with you, Steve.
Great. And thanks also to Laura Day for her remarks. Laura and her board colleagues continue to be tremendous leaders during an unprecedented time. And greetings to all of you. I and all the staff I'm privileged to work with very much appreciate your support and commitment to downtown. Well, it's been a year. So much has transpired for all of us in the past several months: challenges, unrest, adjustments, new realities, and ultimately, promise and hope for what comes next. As I think back to our Downtown Council annual meeting on February 13th, which seems a lifetime ago, but in fact it was less than 8 months back when we celebrated record numbers of workers, residents, and investment levels in downtown Minneapolis. These days, when I talk about the trajectory of downtown over the course of 2020, I often start with that recollection, not out of any misplaced nostalgia nor longing just to get back to normal, more as a reminder that while our downtown, like all downtowns, has absorbed unprecedented heavy blows, we started from a position of unprecedented strength. And evidence of that strength still abounds. The reality is that the promise we felt at the beginning of the year still holds true for the days and months ahead. We remain focused on helping our downtown community move forward, navigating the challenges related to COVID-19, racial inequities, and safety, while remaining focused on downtown's reanimation. We know there is much work to be done and realize we don't always have the answers, but we have a mighty group of members, stakeholders, and partners who are committed to working together every step of the way to ensure our downtown is a place everyone wants to be. As someone who's been at the office at least part of every workday since the first stay-at-home order was issued, I can tell you, activity is very much alive in our downtown. We had great news recently as Deluxe and Principal Financial Group each announced plans to move their offices downtown, bringing hundreds of new jobs to the city's core. It's another testament to the amenities and options downtown provides, and that we are still the attractive destination we've been over the past decade when more than 125 other companies chose to move here. There are still major projects being recently completed or now under construction. The Gateway Tower and Four Seasons Hotel, the 11 condominium, Thrivent headquarters, the Dayton's project, which is going to blow everyone's socks off when it's open, several new rental towers, and major infrastructure improvements which will serve downtown for decades. Investment and development are still alive and well. And there's more in the pipeline, including one of the largest affordable projects ever done in Minneapolis, sponsored by Catholic Charities. I also need to say, I'm not the only person in our organization who's been downtown every day. Our DID ambassadors and other staff from our partner Block by Block are out daily, and I want to recognize their service and dedication. They have lent a semblance of normalcy throughout these past several months. When I drive into work or take my daily walk, it's evident our strong downtown residential population is an incredible asset contributing to vitality. The leaders who crafted our intersections, the Downtown 2025 plan, almost a decade ago, and made doubling the downtown population a top goal, were very wise to do so. Now that's some of the positive reality about downtown today. But we know there's work to be done. Office workers are not back in significant numbers. Larger events are not occurring yet. Business and convention travel centered downtown is at a low ebb, and as a result, restaurants, entertainment venues, and retailers don't have the customer base they need. We're working on each concern in partnership with many of you, and you'll hear more about that later in the program. But the simple reality is our downtown economy and our vibe has been laid low by COVID-19. The social unrest and reckoning with racial injustice and longstanding inequities are also critical to our city's healing. I'm proud of the robust debate led by our board about how our organization can best contribute to systemic change and the enthusiastic commitment from staff to do the same. This year, more than any since I've been at the Minneapolis Downtown Council, the reality and perception of public safety is a priority issue. It's both the hour-by-hour experience of safety or lack thereof on our streets, as well as the policy-level conversations and budget decision-making about policing and other safety approaches occurring at City Hall. It's not a secret that I've been critical of the initial framing of this discussion by a number of our council members, which called into question the existence of the Minneapolis Police Department instead of insisting on changes to make the department more just and trusted in its performance under Chief Arredondo's leadership. Many of you have helped make the argument that law enforcement, including needed reforms, is an essential part of a safety program along with other complementary strategies the downtown business community has long invested in. I'm often asked, do the impacts of COVID-19 and concerns about safety relate in terms of the reanimation of downtown? I think they very much do. Employers are and will continue to make their workspaces safe from a public health standpoint. The same is true for office buildings. Workers must feel assured about that. They and their employers also need to have a greater sense of confidence than many do today about the public safety environment downtown for our recovery to be as strong as possible. We and our elected leaders still have our work cut out for us on this critically important issue. But I assure you, the Minneapolis Downtown Council and our members are committed to continuing to advocate for this much needed work, and we stand at the ready to join the table to move a shared plan forward. While we're nearing the end of a historically difficult year, many challenges still remain ahead for business leaders, elected officials, residents, and everyone who has a stake in a reanimated, successful, and thriving downtown Minneapolis. We will bounce back, but it will take all of us working together toward this shared goal. Our commitment to you and our downtown community remains. We will continue to convene industry-specific thought leadership groups to share information as we work towards welcoming more workers to in-office settings and patrons back to downtown. We will be a contributing voice in the downtown safety conversation and identifying the next steps forward. We will stand ready to work with elected leaders to find solutions that support all in our community, restore peace, and build trust. We will be a leading partner at the table with the City of Minneapolis, elected leaders, community leaders, and the downtown community at large related to social unrest, racial inequities, COVID-19 response, the reanimation of downtown, economic hardships, rebuilding efforts, mental health, and livability issues. And we will continue the important work of our organization and adjust programming and operations to best meet the evolving needs of our dynamic community. As we navigate all of this together, all that lies ahead, I challenge us to resist taking in only good or only bad news. There will be plenty of each for anyone who wants to either be a singularly grumpy pessimist or a sunny optimist. I think it's better to absorb it all, to embrace the complexity and nuances of the period of recovery ahead for downtown. Communicate honestly, constructively, and relentlessly. If there ever was a time to make an extra phone call or send an email to seek advice or just check in, the period ahead of downtown is that time. And let's seek as much common ground as we possibly can. One silver lining we can take from this year is the incredible amount of collaboration that is occurring within the downtown community. Now that's always been our ethic, but it's on display now more than ever, so let's keep it up. These approaches give us the best chance to make smart decisions about the things we directly control and wise choices about how to advocate for policies and decisions that we don't but need to seek to influence for the betterment of downtown. And a better downtown is good for the city, the region, and the state. As I wrote along with some of my business association colleagues in a recent Star Tribune op-ed, stakes are high for the work ahead. Returning to economic health downtown is critical to help restore city financial well-being, and a vibrant downtown Minneapolis is a lens through which the entire region and state is viewed favorably. We've been knocked around a bit, for sure. Other cities have been too. But this is the time for solutions and forward thinking. Being ready, poised for the future, and willing to respond now is crucial to our future shared successes. And to focus in on that topic, I'm happy to turn the program back to Jennifer to introduce our good friend, Allison Kaplan, and board leaders who will focus on the role we will continue to play as we support downtown Minneapolis now and into the future. We thank you for your continued commitment. This is an important moment for our community, and we are focused on helping lead and amplify our collective voice to make sure the full ecosystem of downtown Minneapolis reanimates as vibrant as ever. Thank you for your partnership in this important work and for joining us tonight. And I look forward to seeing you downtown very soon.
Thank you, Steve, for your message. So happy to be here with you tonight and to hear the message that you just delivered to the members. There is important work happening daily as we work together to create an extraordinary downtown for all. And we appreciate the vision and insight that you shared. It is great to have an organization like the Minneapolis Downtown Council bringing people together to convene and collaborate downtown for more than 60 years. The Downtown Council has always had collaboration as a core value in its mission to support and champion downtown. And they are poised to contribute as conveners in important conversations and challenges we currently face. MDC believes in this collaborative spirit and bring it every day on behalf of downtown stakeholders and partners. And they continue to value collaboration as we move forward through these unprecedented times. So let's dig a little deeper into some of what both Laura and Steve talked about earlier. Twin Cities business editor-in-chief Allison Kaplan spoke with Sleep Number Vice President of Human Resources Christine Ackerman and Eric Forsberg, restaurateur and owner of Empire Hospitality, about how the Downtown Council brings our community together to convene and collaborate.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you, Jennifer. I'm Allie Kaplan. I'm the editor-in-chief of Twin Cities Business Magazine, and I'm excited to be with you tonight discussing what makes the Minneapolis Downtown Council such an important organization in the downtown community. To do that, I'll be talking to business leaders who work hand in hand with the Downtown Council on important initiatives. We'll get the conversation started talking about how MDC convenes and collaborates with local leaders. To do that, I'm joined by Sleep Number Vice President of Human Resources, Christine Ackerman, and Eric Forsberg, restaurateur and owner of Empire Hospitality, including Devil's Advocate and Dan Kelly's Pub downtown. Christine, I'll start with you. You are a human resources leader with an array of experiences leading teams and initiatives across several business disciplines. You're a leader who is strategic, creative, impactful, and who delivers results. You're also a board member with the Minneapolis Downtown Council. How does your professional role at Sleep Number intersect with the work being done at the Downtown Council?
Thanks, Allie. Yes. At Sleep Number, my role is involving driving talent development, performance management, organizational design to really drive Sleep Number's overall effectiveness. And it can't be done without leaders and teams that work well together and believe in one another, one mission, one vision. The Downtown Council's leadership is committed to what is best for downtown and strives to bring the right people together at the table to have conversations that make progress possible. Without the right mindset of collectively working together, what we want to achieve as a community won't happen. We need an organization like the Downtown Council who will work on our behalf to keep downtown strong and vibrant.
Great. Eric, you have a long history downtown as a resident, a student, and of course, owner of several successful restaurants. You're a strong advocate for the downtown community and have worked with the Downtown Council as a board member and on ways to keep downtown thriving. Like Christine, you've worked with them this year on convening a group of restaurant owners to help pave the way for success in the future. For you, why is it so important to come together right now and work as one to help downtown get through the current challenges?
Well, the important thing is that we have to work together as a community, and I've been advocating that for quite some time. And what that means in our sector is working with competitors, working with a cross-sector of our suppliers, getting everybody kind of on board to push together. Because right now, the key to success in the future is going to be people bringing together. When one survives or succeeds, everyone survives and succeeds together. So it's important that we really start to focus on what we're going to be looking at down the road with startups. What new kind of entrepreneurship can we bring to downtown? A lot of people talk about what a new normal is, and it takes a group like Downtown Council to actually have those conversations and bring people together to think creatively and to look beyond what the current normal is. So the stakes are high. I mean, there's no question about it, and it's a group like this that's going to be able to take those conversations to really push the stakes a little bit further and to make sure that we come out the other side of this. Let's be honest, maybe a little bit better than we went into it.
That would be great. Christine, let's talk a little bit about convening and collaborating. Why is that a core value of the Downtown Council, and why is it so important?
Yeah, I'd say bringing people together from different industries is now more important than ever. And the MDC's ability to convene and collaborate is critical to the reanimation of downtown businesses. It's critical to the important work our community needs to do around racial inequalities, safety, returning employees, and more to downtown. Through its work, the Downtown Council and its board is stepping up to tackle these tough issues and support downtown during these extraordinary times, so that the downtown continues to be thriving and a dynamic place for all of us to work, play, and live.
Great. Eric, how does the Downtown Council's work convening and collaborating impact the community at large?
The most important thing that Downtown Council does is that this isn't a politically driven group. This is a group that's able to bring people together, particularly as a spokesperson towards City Council, who is politically driven, obviously. So being able to have the tough conversations, because sometimes people have a hard time doing that. People have a hard time really bringing up the topics, coming to the table. The best thing we can do is communicate with one another in order to get through them. Ignoring them isn't going to get us anywhere. And Downtown Council, if they've proven anything, they've proven that they're able to have those conversations and come together and create a viable result that actually shows tangible results.
Great. Christine, what work is the Downtown Council currently working on that you think is so critical toward reanimating downtown?
Yeah, I'd say it's this word we've been using a lot today. It's the convening. So bringing together, using themselves as a platform to bring together thought leaders from different groups, HR, restaurateurs, commercial brokers, transit, and other local authorities and leaders to collaborate in a safe place to share ideas, best practices, to troubleshoot and to support each other, because we are all in this together. Through this convening across industries, we're supporting this reanimation of the full ecosystem of downtown Minneapolis, which is what makes downtown so special and creates this magnetic draw for all of us. Downtown is the economic engine for our region and the lens through which the world views our region. Our work to convene and pull together is more important now than ever. And as we work together to ensure downtown continues to be a world-class destination for all of us who use it, play, live, and work there.
Absolutely. Eric, I'm going to use the term one more time. Why is MDC's strength to convene and collaborate now more important than ever?
Well, I don't know if you've heard, but 2020 has brought a lot of change to the community. So this is a time when we need a group like Downtown Council more than ever. A year like this has impacted so many people in the community. And as you mentioned, I've been a member of this community. This is my neighborhood. This is where I live, and I've grown up here. I mean, I've become an adult here. And having a group like this come together, and again, I keep saying it, is somebody who can facilitate difficult conversations. But the other key is they have access to people that are the important people to bring around that table, the right people to bring around the table to facilitate the conversations. And understand, this isn't just a business advocacy group. This is a group that represents the entire community. The Downtown Council is committed to business vitality and investment. Sure, that keeps our community going. They're also committed to keeping downtown safe. They're committed to always being at the table and having those conversations, and they're committed to the community and the people that actually are building this community. They understand that we are nothing without the people that are in it. So it's a critical part of what's going to be happening going forward. And I'll tell you what, I'm happy they're doing it, and I'm happy to be a part of it. And I will always support this group as something that I think is going to be the critical group that will help make Minneapolis successful.
Great. Well said, both of you. Christine and Eric, thank you so much for your time tonight discussing how the Downtown Council is You said it, convening and collaborating in our community. And thank you for your continued commitment to downtown. Thank you.
That was a really insightful conversation about how MDC convenes and collaborates. Now let's take a look into how the Downtown Council takes action in our community to help make progress. If you ask anyone downtown about the Minneapolis Downtown Council, likely the first thing they tell you is it's an organization that gets things done. Action is the backbone of the Downtown Council. They don't just talk about what could be, they roll up their sleeves and they do the work collectively with the downtown community, all the while striving to inspire others. As an organization, they demand results of themselves and they work hard to achieve their goals. Here is Allison Kaplan's conversation talking a little bit more about that action-oriented approach with Nika Creative CEO Rosemary Ubuaja and Cressa Minneapolis Principal Jim Voss.
Thanks again, Jennifer. I'm Allie Kaplan, back with you to dig a little deeper into how the Downtown Council is action-oriented in their work. Not only bringing people together, but formulating plans that are executed to help downtown thrive. I'm joined by two board members who are heavily involved with some of the Minneapolis Downtown Council's work. Nika Creative CEO Rosemary Ubuaja and Cressa Minneapolis Principal Jim Voss. Rosemary and Jim, thanks for joining me tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Well, Rosemary, you have a long history in marketing and brand development. Before founding Nika Creative more than a decade ago, you bring experience working as a marketer with Target, as well as various brands throughout advertising agencies, including 3M, Cargill, Johnson & Johnson, Vision Care, and the list goes on. At Nika, you're focused on bringing the power of inclusion to organizations throughout your own proprietary process, inclusivity marketing. The Downtown Council's Chameleon Shops initiative focused on offering new retail opportunities downtown. Tell us a little about Chameleon Shops, how it felt like a fit for Nika to be part of it.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, the Chameleon Shops is sort of managed by Chameleon Consortium. And that's a private-public group which strives to achieve two goals. One, a vibrant downtown, and two, an inclusive downtown. So it was dedicated to this experiential and economic vitality. The Chameleon Shops, which is a project of the Chameleon Consortium, was its first initiative. That launched last year. It's a robust initiative that provides minority small business owners with access to retail space, business coaching, technical support, marketing direction, so really robust. But on the flip side of that, it also is an opportunity to give the Chameleon Consortium and the Downtown Council a front row seat to see up close the barriers that small businesses, especially minority businesses, have to overcome in order to partake in the promise of our downtown. So the assignment was a perfect fit for Nika Creative. It fit right in with our Why the World Needs Your Brand pro bono program. We saw it as a great opportunity to do something different that would advance inclusion. And it's been incredible to see the businesses gain exposure, and also our client, the Chameleon Consortium, advance its understanding as it grows, in its important work of championing vitality and inclusion in downtown.
Yeah, it really was great. It was so much fun to come upon those shops over the lunch hour. And yeah. Jim, you've been in commercial real estate for more than 3 decades. Your experience is a mix of project experience, strategic business perspective, and knowledge of local trends. Your primary activities involve client lease negotiations here in the heart of downtown. And you're also a regular and respected contributor to local media, discussing discussing hospitality, retail, and workforce. You've worked with the Downtown Council in a number of capacities over the years, including initiatives for the 2025 plan focused on job and business growth in the downtown core. Currently, you're doing work on the Job Task Force. What is that group's objective and what's being done there?
Thanks, Ellie. Yeah, the Job Growth Task Force that we started nearly a year ago came together around this concept that downtown needs to be the premier place for employers to find great employees and for employees to find great jobs. So how do we figure out what it is that those employees and employers are both after? We started out with a survey of companies who'd come into downtown in the last 5 years and polled these downtown council members saying, what were you looking for? And did you find it? And it was interesting and frankly encouraging. People said that they were looking for great labor and they found it. They found energy from our amenities, from the dining, from the retail that's happening. They appreciated the access to public transit really provides downtown, unlike most other parts of the metro area. And so I think that on balance, people were pretty excited about what they found here. Certainly, we heard about some concerns about perceptions of public safety. We heard concerns about the cost of parking. But with that information, we were able to bring together a task force of professionals that included design community folks, real estate folks, corporate HR, some city officials. And we said, all right, how do we play to our strengths and how do we address the challenges that are out there? And it's been a great sort of hands-on experience with a group of about 20 of us meeting monthly. And we've listened to people who are doing recruiting. How is it that you sell downtown Minneapolis and how can we as the downtown council make this a better community for you to sell? What are the city planning initiatives that we should be thinking about? What are the HR issues? So it's been a really exciting, they say, hands-on, diverse mix of people continuing to focus on that question of how do we make downtown the premier place to both be an employer and an employee. Obviously, we came together pre-COVID. I think as we recognize the current situation, we may have some different tactics to pursue, but our objectives are still the same.
That's great. Rosemary, what got you excited about Chameleon Shops and the opportunity it opened up for small businesses?
All right. I think it was an opportunity for true transformation for the small businesses, getting them into downtown to have that access, transformation for our downtown community. This is a point where now we have people who live, work, visit downtown, have access to an array of products that they ordinarily don't or didn't when they were in downtown. And also transformation for the downtown council itself. Right now we're having different types of discussions about what does it mean or what do we need to put in place or what do we need to get out of the way that is hindering businesses like this from being downtown. So that was really exciting for us. And then to see how Chameleon Consortium has opened those doors, how it continues to support minority business owners. Before COVID, right, we saw that those vacant spaces filled, the lights were turned on. And that was really, really encouraging. So those are all the things that got us excited to begin with and kept us on.
For sure. Jim, you've worked on the Downtown Council's reanimation dashboard, tracking how downtown is coming back to life as we navigate COVID. What's being done and how is it impacting the community?
You know, I've always said that a party's more fun when there are more people there. And we recognize, even in my own office, if everybody's in, it's a lot more fun than if you come in and it's empty. Right now, I think the message about downtown is that it's empty. And in fact, it's not. And what we're trying to do with the Downtown Reanimation Dashboard is really capture and then communicate the momentum that's coming back downtown. Those shops that Rosemary talked about do better when there are more people in the buildings. The buildings will draw more people in if the restaurants and shops are open. So we have this sort of synergy between downtown utilization and the success of the downtown retail community. And so we need to work together to track things like hotel occupancy, restaurant utilization, light rail ridership, pedestrian traffic on downtown. And then we're monitoring the downtown office buildings. We've got a sample set and tracking the daily utilization. And we're watching that grow week by week by week. And so the animation dashboard lets us communicate that, building momentum downtown so that people can plan for when to reopen restaurants or reopen the office or do those things together.
Great. Rosemary, in what ways are the Downtown Council's actions making an impact in the work you've done together?
All right. I would say when we launched the Chameleon Shops last year, it launched with over 50 businesses in 3 retail spaces. And that was a huge splash downtown. It created buzz. People that normally pass through the Skyway stopped to shop. People made new relationships with some of those makers and vendors with those businesses. And it's also, I think, moving on from just the shops, the conversations have shifted. With the Chameleon Consortium now is not just the retail shops, but it's much more robust with an education platform, a technical development platform. There's awards that we're thinking of to come for businesses. There are relationships being created or at least facilitated between businesses and buyers. So it's so much more than the retail space. But that was where it started. So I can see, while there's impact today, I just see that there'll be so much more in the future.
Jim, it's been quite a year. Why does taking action to support downtown Minneapolis matter now more than ever?
Allie, you're right. It has been a year that none of us will ever forget and none of us could have ever predicted. But I think that one of the privileges of being involved in the Downtown Council is the opportunity to step up and make a difference when our community needs us. The collaboration that happens in the Downtown Council is this extraordinary combination of people who care deeply about our community. And when people are in need, we recognize that we're the folks that can step up and make a difference. We have the opportunity and, again, the obligation maybe to engage with our city leaders, to communicate with other business decision makers, to communicate with downtown residents, and come together around what it is that really makes downtown Minneapolis the safe, vibrant, exciting place we all want downtown to be.
Well, Rosemary and Jim, fantastic conversation. Thank you so much for shedding light on how the Downtown Council's actions are impacting the downtown community.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wow, so many things to take away from that. Incredible insights, Rosemary and Jim. Thank you. As we keep talking through the impact the Minneapolis Downtown Council has on our community, leadership comes up in the conversation. For more than 60 years, the Downtown Council has been a go-to source for leadership when it comes to downtown, no matter what the issue. This leadership is due in part to a coalition of good partners coming together because they believe in the importance of downtown. Throughout these past 6 decades, the Downtown Council has always had a 10 to 15-year work plan with a vision for the downtown everyone wants and deserves, keeping an eye on long-term investment and progress. But they have also been nimble enough to lead in the short term when major challenges arise that impact our community. Most importantly, the Downtown Council leads not only when it is easy, but when it is hard. Knowing they lead during good and difficult times alike, they are willing to convene and take action so that downtown continues to be a thriving, vibrant place for all to enjoy. As we wrap up tonight's conversations, Allie Kaplan spoke with Faegre Drinker Biddle and Wreath partner Lika Tamizuka and Ryan Company's president of North Region, Mike Ryan, to discuss this further.
Jennifer, thanks. Allie Kaplan back with you one last time tonight to discuss how the Downtown Council provides leadership in the downtown community and beyond. Joining me for this leadership conversation is Faegre Drinker Biddle and Wreath partner Lika Tamizuka and Mike Ryan from Ryan Companies. Thanks for joining me, both of you. Mike, at Ryan, you really lead strategic direction as well as design, development, construction, and property management for teams in the North region. Downtown has been your national headquarters for decades and certainly a big part of your focus. Ryan has been heavily invested in downtown business-wise, helping to bring East Town to life with residential, hotel, office, and green space. But you've also been heavily invested in the strategic vision of the Minneapolis Downtown Council for many years, currently as a board member, but also in helping frame up the structure and help achieve initiatives of the 2025 plan. From a leadership perspective, how has the Downtown Council's long-term planning played a direct role in downtown's growth and vitality?
Well, first of all, it's great to be with you, Allie, and hello, Lika. That's a great question. I think it's an easy answer for me. The council has great short-term focus, and they marry it with really good long-term vision. From a long-term perspective, the 2025 plan is really where that work resides. Since 2011, I've been working on that plan, and the work ranges from adding office space, doubling the downtown residential population, growing green space, ending street homelessness. It's really a broad range, and it includes lots of stakeholders. And that plan, it was honed not in a vacuum. It was thousands and thousands of conversations over the course of a year, and maybe even a little more than a year, with some of the most influential personalities of downtown. And to me, that's really what's driven the growth for the city and allowed us to kind of set a clear set of goals and vision of what we wanted to achieve. And for our work, that is what has paved the road to kind of aligning consensus on what is a good definition of success for downtown. What do we all want? It's been very influential for us. Now, what the council does so well is marries that vision with the short-term focus. And it's probably the thing that I love most about the council is we have this long-ranging vision, but we're actually willing to lean in and do all of the hard work that it takes to bring that vision to life. At the end of the day, the MDC it's a group of doers, and I love that about us. The members and the staff, they don't always know the answers, but they're willing to take the challenges head on and find solutions. And in my experience, this almost always comes in the form of partnerships, convening the right people, and consensus building. This year's leadership is probably more important than ever. I think we all recognize that and the challenges that are present, but the MDC has shown a great willingness, in my opinion, to stick with it and lean in when the reality gets tough. And this year's reality has been tough, but make no mistake about it, the council is committed to finding solutions to racial inequities. They're committed to helping reanimate downtown, and they're committed to public safety and civility. It's a tough assignment, but the MDC doesn't shy away from it. They lean right into the middle of the conversation. So in the end, it's really the short-term focus, but marrying that with the long-term vision that makes the Downtown Council special.
Thank you, Mike. Lika, you are a Downtown Council board member as well as a real estate partner at Faegre Drinker, helping clients buy, sell, and develop real estate projects across the country. You are also co-chair of the firm's Diverse Professionals Business Resource Group and serve on the firm's Diversity and Inclusion Committee. You have an assortment of incredible professional awards in this space, including a 2020 honoree of the Minnesota Lawyers Diversity of Inclusion Award. Congrats on that. You truly are a go-to person in the legal community for your thoughtful approach to diversity, equity, and inclusion work. What excites you about your role on MDC's board?
Well, thank you, Allie. So I have to start with my first interaction with the Minneapolis Downtown Council, which was over 15 years ago. I attended my first annual meeting. It's the big lunch, where there are thousands of people there. And I was just so energized and loved that there was this organization that really promoted downtown. And it made me super excited to live close to downtown. I was living right across the river at the time and work downtown. And obviously I spent a lot of time downtown. I just thought that the MDC was doing amazing work. And I wished that all downtowns had an organization like this. And I felt very lucky to live in a place where we did have the MDC. So I'm a real estate lawyer, so the concept of place is very important to me. So that, that my work, what I do for my work, and then also my passion for where I live and the downtown vitality is it's been a wonderful opportunity for me to join the board. I mean, over 15 years ago when I first learned about the NBC, I thought one day I want to be on the board so I can help influence, how downtown comes to life. And so now I have that chance, and I've just really enjoyed being a part of the board. It's been just less than a year, actually, since I joined the board. But what I've been really impressed by, especially with my work in diversity and inclusion, which I'm still on that journey of learning myself, but what I've learned since I joined is that the board is very conscientious and intentional about its work around diversity and inclusion. And it didn't start with the racial tensions that came up in May, and that the board truly is committed to bettering itself, while it's also committed to helping others. And that there is this widespread acknowledgement that while we are leaders, we are not perfect, and that we are all on this journey of increasing our cultural competency. And so that marrying my diversity and inclusion work that I've been doing all these years with this passion that I have for the Downtown Council has been a real blessing and honor.
Right. It all comes together. Thank you for that. Mike, how has connecting across public, private, and nonprofit sectors been a key ingredient in the Downtown Council's leadership?
I had a very similar experience to Lika. When I moved here in 2010, I was kind of grabbed by the ear and told, this is the organization where you're going to meet the people that you need to help create the downtown you want to be a part of. And I went to the first board meeting at the top floor of the IDS, and I was just kind of taken aback. And it was amazing to me to see all of those people, electeds, staff, companies, churches, nonprofits. They were all there in partnership with what I saw was a deep desire to do good together. So in hindsight, that's where I met those folks that long before I needed to engage with them professionally. And in our business, where we're placemaking and creating places for people to live and work, you really need the public-private partnerships, and you need the cross-sector relationships if you want to take on that big community building work. And that's what the Downtown Council does so well. They pull all those people together. And in the long range, of course, that's all the work like the 2025 plan, where you're dreaming up bringing a new stadium for the Vikings or creating new neighborhoods, doubling the residential population, redoing Nicollet Mall, creating all these great events. And more recently, those cross-sector partnerships are coming in the form of how do we reanimate? How do we, channel good police reform? How do we address social unrest and the inequalities? And even more basically, how do we help neighbors in the workforce get through the difficulties of this year? And so those partnerships are critical when you're talking about these large, kind of audacious goals that we all have for downtown and tackling them together. And so MDC does that better than any organization I've seen.
Audacious is good. We can use that right now.
Yes.
Lika, what is the Downtown Council doing at a leadership level to impact downtown vitality?
Well, so I think vitality is really linked to making people want to come downtown, obviously. And they'll come downtown if they feel welcome, safe, and included. And so I think creating an inclusive community is very important. The board is extremely committed to making sure that we are leading and supporting the work that we do to address social unrest, like Mike said, racial inequalities. And we're figuring out as we go, how we can use our voice and our really unique role that we have in the community to provide allyship, to provide awareness and education, to amplify the voices of our community members and influence. And so we've been doing various activities, and we are, like I said, we're nimble. We are working to see what works, what doesn't work. We're trying new ideas. Not being afraid to fail, I think, is a really important quality. But we're doing that by, for example, convening our community leaders and having a really honest conversation. And the last one that I remember I attended was through a webinar. And I think providing these opportunities to our community has been really, really important at this time.
Great. Mike, what makes MDC uniquely positioned to be leaders in the downtown community?
MDC's always had a core value of leadership, but right now that's more critical than ever. I think great leadership starts with a great leader, and we have one in Steve Cramer. I hope everyone recognizes how fortunate we are to have him and the entire team at MDC consistently on the front lines, providing clear, concise vision and just confidence about the fact we are all going to move forward. Sometimes we don't know what that looks like. I think being a leader means you have to be willing to push hard to advocate for good downtown, and sometimes that involves being committed to those hard conversations with the elected officials, even when we don't agree, and especially when we don't agree. But at the end of the day, MDC is fully committed. We're inclusive. We're committed to being more inclusive. We've been here a long time. We'll be here a long time. We care about this place. It's our home. And Minneapolis needs the MDC, and the MDC needs all of us in order to thrive. At some point in the near future, our city will need the workforce to return at scale. This will be a challenge, but it has to happen in order to live up to the dream and the commitments we've all made here, and in order to reanimate, the core of our region and state. And when that moment comes, I'm confident the MDC will be out in front, as they always are, leading the charge and rallying us all together for that moment.
Great. And Lika, in your estimation, why does the Downtown Council's leadership matter?
Mike said so many great things and answered that question in so many ways, but I'll just reiterate that I just think, I'm a big believer in leading from where you are. I mean, I know it's one of those leadership mantras that we all learn kind of young in our leadership careers. But I think that, each of us individually can lead from where we are. The companies and members of MDC can lead from where they are. But the coordination and leadership that's provided by the Minneapolis Downtown Council is really unique, and it really does amplify our individual efforts. And at this time, we really do need to work together, and we really need to take care of our community. And our community needs us, as Mike said. And I think getting all the stakeholders to the table so that we can work together is especially important at this time. I think the Downtown Council provides us with an extraordinary platform. It is so unique to give us this special role as business leaders to step up when it's especially difficult and work together and work to find solutions.
Right. Well, Lika, Mike, this has been a terrific conversation. Thank you for discussing the Downtown Council's leadership and for your own leadership in our community. The Minneapolis Downtown Council's strength is its membership and leadership. Thank you all for being part of this community. Membership is truly the lifeblood of this important organization.
Downtown Minneapolis is the economic engine of our region. The Minneapolis Downtown Council brings our community together to advocate for a vital, thriving downtown.
Minneapolis is a leader in public-private partnerships, and the Minneapolis Downtown Council helps convene these efforts. From major events to 2025 plan initiatives, the Minneapolis Downtown Council provides opportunities to make a difference.
Your membership opens doors to networking and engaging in real change with others. Dozens of events focused on today's issues and tomorrow's opportunities await you. We're here to help.
When the business community works together, it creates a better environment for everyone. We need your support, your creativity, and your energy to help keep Minneapolis competitive for years to come. Thanks for making downtown extraordinary.
Big thanks to Allison Kaplan for leading those important, honest conversations, and to all of our Zoom guests tonight for all the work you're doing for our downtown community. We look forward to more great work ahead during this critical time. Thanks to all of you for joining us for an evening supporting downtown, supporting the mission of the Minneapolis Downtown Council presented by Wells Fargo. We look forward to working with you as we continue to forge ahead in keeping downtown extraordinary and vibrant. There is certainly more work to be done, but the Minneapolis Downtown Council is bringing us together to do this important work. This concludes our evening downtown. We look forward to seeing you downtown again soon. Thank you and good night.
Like you can only do with those that you hold dear. And I'll be there for you, my friend, when we finally get together again. And we'll have stories about these long days and all the glory that was stripped away, always relying on silver linings in the end. So I go counting on the time when we finally get together again. We'll be laughing through the tears like you can only do with those that you hold dear. And I'll be there for you, my friend, when we finally get together again. And I will hold you when the new winds blow. Please forgive me if I can't let go. We'll be laughing through the tears like you can only do with those that you hold dear.